Collins running out of real estate. Heads back upfield. 25 to the 30. The 35 to 40. The 45 to 50. He has only Kovalevsky to beat. Gets through him. The 10 and touchdown for Collins.
Guard takes the throw. He fires toward the goal line. And that is caught by Kadeem Wilson for a game-winning Gators touchdown.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the Profs will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Sends one on goal and he scores! Jonah Copray scores for the second time tonight. And it is a power play goal!
The pressure is there. Wilson putting it in the end zone. It is up for grabs. Did someone come down with it? No, incomplete. The Pharaohs are the 2022 EFA champions. Live from the Waranenko Sports Complex in Roselle, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Jersey Bearcats Arena Football and Week 3 of the American Arena League 2's season. Tonight, the Jersey Bearcats take on the Maryland Warriors, with the Bearcats looking to win their second in a row, while the Warriors still looking for their first win on the season. And with approximately 1/2 hour until kickoff, we officially welcome you in to the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Joe Foreman. And Joe, for the next 30 minutes, we get to take an in-depth look at the Bearcats again, as we did in our opener 2 weeks ago, this time after a resounding victory, but now looking for their first win on their home turf after a tough loss 2 weeks ago.
No doubt it was a tough loss for the Bearcats here at home in Week 1, but there was a lot to like about what they did in that game. For all but about 5 minutes at the end of the game, the Bearcats executed well on both sides of the ball. Their first few possessions were all scoring drives. They forced several turnovers, and they built a lead of 20 points that they took late into the fourth quarter. We all know what happened after that, but the Bearcats, to their credit, were able to put that behind them and pick up a big win last weekend over the Rage. You know that kind of complete four-quarter effort is one they will be looking to replicate against the Warriors here tonight.
Absolutely. And Joe, we have a lot to talk about tonight, and coming up we will hear directly from Bearcats ownership and go field level for interviews. But let's talk about what's going on in the entirety of the league thus far. Last week we got to see every team in action for the first time. You could see them on your screen coming up in just a few moments. There were a few lopsided scores last week, but the one that really stands out was that huge win by the Bearcats on the road in Pennsylvania. They needed a statement win after that Game 1 loss, and they got one, and a couple of other finals of note too.
When we spoke to head coach A.J. Roque at the half 2 weeks ago, he said he wanted 50 points from his team against the Stampede. After a strong start to the second half, they ultimately didn't get there, but the Bearcats made sure they didn't disappoint their coach a second time. 56 points for Jersey last week against the Rage in a decisive win, and only 8 for the Warriors in a loss to a Stampede team that defeated the Bearcats in Week 1. The Warriors are the only team in the league with 2 losses right now, as you will see on your screen. With just 8 games on the regular season schedule, the Warriors need a win here tonight to avoid finding themselves in a very tough spot with 5 games to play. As for the Bearcats, they look to keep pace with the Stampede, who are the only unbeaten team with a 2-0 record.
Right, and we got to see the United Firepower for the first time in Week 2, the Georgia-Lena Lions as well. They start their seasons off last week with a win. Everyone else has played 2 games, and you see the standings on your screen. So, Joe, 2 weeks of the AAL2 in the books. You can see on your screen coming up in just a few moments the schedule for the Bearcats. As we've mentioned, there's 8 regular season games in the AAL2, and the top 4 teams will make the playoffs. It's almost hard to believe, Joe, but after tonight, we're pretty much in mid-season. So the games get magnified. They get bigger as we go for the Bearcats. You see many down the stretch where we played right here at Waranenko and on the PDF Sports Network.
Well, looking at the Bearcats' schedule down the stretch, I think it's clear that they are going to find themselves in a very advantageous position come the final month of the season. Each of their last 3 games will be played here at home, And if week one was any indication, the Warananko Sports Complex brings with it a distinct home field advantage. As for the Warriors, they will play 3 of their final 4 games at home. However, they often say one mark of a great team is the ability to win on the road. The Bearcats have done that already this season, and the Warriors come into tonight's game needing a big win away from home.
Right, and you can see the Warriors' schedule on your screen as well. 3 out of their first 4 games on the road, and that's tough when you're a team looking for your first victory. So for the Warriors, this is a big game for them, Joe, because you start a season 0-3 and 0-4 in an 8-game season, you're pretty much out of the playoffs looking in.
And that's a really tough spot to be in, as we mentioned before. But as for this Bearcats team, I think they've made it clear through the first 2 weeks of the season they can score with anybody. So a high-scoring game tonight definitely plays in their favor. However, if you're the Warriors coming into tonight's game, I think you have no choice but to try and connect on some big plays early, methodical drives up and down the field, give the Bearcats the opportunity to create pressure on the quarterback and generate some of the mistakes that we saw from the Stampede 2 weeks ago. For the Warriors, it's also important to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers with some space to make defenders miss. At times during week one, the Bearcats struggled to bring down the Stampede receivers in the open field, and that allowed some short passes to turn into big gains. Now, if you're the Bearcats, it's simple. Do what you did last week and avoid the costly penalties that gave the Stampede a chance in week one, and you should be able to come away with a win.
Absolutely. So, Joe, the stage is set. We got some great football ahead of us and what will be an important game for both teams. The Jersey Bearcats and the Maryland Warriors are getting closer to kickoff. What we will do is step aside, take a break. When we come back, we'll go field level and talk to some of our players and coaches as we continue the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show right here on the PDF Sports Network. Stay with us.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Life insurance is a benefit you and your loved ones need. Buying it early means lower premiums, higher benefits, security, and peace of mind. At I'm Covered Life Insurance, you get a personal touch from Anthony M. Royster, whose primary purpose is to provide proper protection. Unsure of how to start or want the keys to a sound financial plan? Call Anthony at I'm Covered Life Insurance at 267-323-9632 or email aroyster@amrimcovered.com.
Warananko Sports Center is the official home of the Jersey Bearcats and is proud to welcome the AAL2. Located at One Park Drive in Roselle, Warananko is available for parties and rentals, public skating in the winter, and camps and activities each spring and summer. Visit us at waranankopark.com to learn more about our rink, indoor dining and party area, and all that beautiful Warananko Park has to offer. waranankopark.com or call 908-298-7849.
Arena football fans, make sure you keep up with the latest news and information from the AAL and AAL2 all year long at AmericanArenaLeague.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like, subscribe, and follow all of the AAL2 teams to keep up with the latest league happenings and stay connected. Want to sponsor the AAL and AAL2? Contact us at info@AmericanArenaLeague.com. We'll see you at the arena.
If you plan to do chicken, then do chicken like a champ at Wing It On in Linden. Voted #1 medium wing sauce at the National Buffalo Wing Festival. Wing It On is family-owned and operated in Linden, New Jersey, and we have an excellent array of your favorite wings and chicken done to perfection. We have the true flavor of champions at Wing It On. Stop in or order now at wingiton.com or call our store at 908-486-0910.
The Jersey Bearcats would like to thank Von Seals Veggies and Seafood, official food sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats game day. Von Seals Food Truck is available for bookings at vvsfoodtruck@gmail.com, specializing in the most delicious seafood with the freshest of vegetables made to order. Follow Chef Supreme and Von Seals on Facebook to see where we are serving the best plant and pescatarian food near you.
Today's game is presented by Total Performance Bodywork with Dave Riemann. Dave is a body worker, licensed massage therapist, and strength and movement coach. He's combined his wide variety of expertise into a system that he calls Total Performance Bodywork. Trusted by professional athletes and bodybuilders, Dave has been helping people to recover from new and old injuries, improve their breathing efficiency, athletic performance, mobility, flexibility, and their overall strength. Visit Total Performance Bodywork at totalperformancebodywork.com or contact Dave by calling 610-570-7480 or email Dave Riemann at rcn.com. New Jersey Urban News is a voice for the voiceless. Breaking news, health and wellness, business, the arts, and the latest local sports. As a black news source in the Garden State, New Jersey Urban News is dedicated to covering New Jersey's vibrant African American community through informative stories and thorough coverage. New Jersey Urban News covers stories often overlooked by mainstream media, impacting the 1.3 million people that make up New Jersey's black community. Visit them today at njurbannews.com. Today's broadcast is being sponsored by the U.S. Army, the U.S. Army Junior ROTC, and the Crusaders, a winning combination of enterprise, leadership, innovation, courage, and commitment. Learn more about the U.S. Army and ROTC programs by visiting goarmy.com and at usarmyjrotc.com. Become a part of our winning team through enrollment, employment, and leadership opportunities. Be all you can be with the Army and Army ROTC. East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Three Bleezies Entertainment Group on the Three Bleezies Facebook and Instagram page. Catch the Three Bleezies weekly show, as well as live recordings, and all the opinions and the unfiltered hot topics you've come to love about semi-pro. It's the resource for semi-pro football and more, from the official source for all things Bleezy. The Three Bleezies Facebook and Instagram page. Visit and follow now. Mundo, yeah, yeah.
Unique Resin Design specializes in home decor with one-of-a-kind handcrafted resin products, perfect for your home and any place you love. Perfect for gifts and parties, let Imani Green dazzle you with inspirational creations you can get at only one place, Unique Resin Designs. Visit us at uniqueresindesign.com and learn how to get free shipping on your next order.
Lila Keys Photography. To capture the very best memories, let Lila Keys Photography be your answer. For maternity and milestone photos, family portraits, events, and graduations. From simple headshots to action-packed sports photography, Lila Keys Photography preserves your greatest moments and achievements. Reach out at lilakeys21@gmail.com or reach out via Instagram at Lila Keys. Welcome back to Warananko Sports Complex here in Roselle, New Jersey, and the Brownstone Grill pregame show. We are just moments away from kickoff here. David Pizzuto alongside Joe Foreman. And Joe, as we speak, the teams are making their final presentations before kickoff. Honor Guard has taken the field. It is Military Appreciation Night here, Joe. One of the many themes that the Jersey Bearcats will have game to game. You see the Honor Guard on your screen. Momentarily, we'll have our anthem as well. But, Joe, as both teams make their final preparations, what do you think both teams are saying in the locker rooms right now?
Well, I think, as I mentioned before, if you're the Warriors coming into tonight's game, you do have to take some shots down the field. If you try and move the ball methodically up and down the field each possession, that opens up opportunities for Jersey to create some of the pressure that we saw in Week 1. If you're the Bearcats, you want to do more of the same of what you did last week. The Bearcats, a very prolific offense, the highest scoring offense in the league. They can certainly score with just about anybody. If they avoid the penalties and costly turnovers, they put themselves in a very good position to win this game. The Warriors, trying to pick up their first win of the season, have a tough task in front of them tonight.
Absolutely. The Warriors are coming out now onto the field. You can see them on the bottom half of your screen. They come in with a record of 0-2. This will be their second of 3 road games in their first 4. So there will be a huge magnifying glass on this game for them. They really need to right in the ship. And Joe, speaking of righting the ship, the Jersey Bearcats, who will be introduced momentarily, they came back in a big way last week, really made a statement. It's almost like that game against the Stampede is well in the rearview mirror, but they're still looking for that first win at home. It's important that they get off to a good start tonight.
Well, it certainly appears that they had very short memories last week. They put up what was a fantastic performance, what their coach, A.J. Roque, was looking for in Game 1. He wanted 50 points from his team. They scored 56 in Week 2 against the Rage, and as you said, they put Week 1 in the rearview mirror. Here tonight, they're going up against a Warriors team in their home building. The Warriors, without a win, you know the Bearcats want to get their first win at home. Put that in the rearview mirror as well. We had a great turnout 2 weeks ago during Week 1. Fans still filing in here in Week 3. The Bearcats hope to send them home happy with a victory here on Military Appreciation Night.
And they are fired up as they come out onto the field looking for victory number 2. Before we cut to our national anthem and we cut it back to a few words, we should mention a couple of housekeeping items, Joe, if you will. 15-minute running clock for each quarter. We will do our best to have the official time on our screens. Our engineer, Andrew Rotundo, in charge there. But the official time will be kept on the field to the letter, and we'll keep up with it as much as we possibly can. Last week, we lost a little bit of our visual, Joe, in the corner of the end zone. We think we got that locked down. Our cameraman tonight, Vinny Massacol, helping us out. Looks like we have a full view of both end zones as well, so that's always great, and we promise that if we do have internet connectivity that takes us offline, we will bring you right back when we can.
Absolutely. We think we recovered pretty quickly during the pregame. As soon as we got that error message, we hopped right back on. Anything you missed during the pregame, we will bring to you during halftime. But for now, the national anthem about to be played, the colors going to be presented at midfield. We will step aside and take a quick break. This game is being brought to you by Staples, the official office superstore. With multiple locations throughout the tri-state area, Staples has what you need for your office, home, or home office. Visit us at staples.com for the location nearest you.
You can see them on your screen, the Bearcats honoring America, of course, with the national anthem, the color guard here in the building. It is Military Appreciation Night here at Warananko Sports Complex. Every home game has a different theme. Superhero Night was the original home opener and Military Appreciation, and we can see actually around midfield Jermaine Sanders, who we spoke to during pregame. He's at midfield getting ready for our coin toss. ceremonial coin toss between these two teams, and then we will get underway. Joe, we should mention a couple of new faces, actually 3 new faces on the Bearcats roster. We spoke to one, of course, during pregame, Claude Jones-Jules, the offensive lineman. Also, Delron Simmons will wear number 7, and number 4 will be Marquise Simmons. No relation between them, but a couple of new faces should make this team even more formidable.
Well, we saw what this Bearcats offense is capable of in week 1. We also saw what their defense is capable of in that game. Early on, for about 3.5 quarters, this Bearcats defense shut down the Stampede during that week 1 matchup. So you add a defensive back like Marquis Simmons to this defense, and that only bolsters that unit for the Bearcats. As for the offensive side of the ball, we saw what their playmakers can do in week 1. You now add Delron Simmons to that mix, another blocker up front in Claude Jones-Jules, who, as you mentioned, we got to speak to during the pregame, and that offensive side of the ball becomes that much more formidable. This Bearcats team was already among the favorites in the AAL2, and these additions certainly help that.
Absolutely, and Claude Jones-Jules, who will be up front and center, he recently was on the West Texas Warbirds of the National Arena League, one of the top arena leagues in the nation. And same with Delron Simmons. He was in the Champions Indoor Football last season with the Rapid City Marshals. So we're talking about 2 guys who can make an immediate impact once they get onto the field and make an impact. I do believe that the Bearcats won the toss and will receive and go left to right, but we will make sure of that. The Maryland Warriors do not have a kicker listed on their roster, but we did see a kicker warming up during pregame, so we know they're fully capable of kicking for the Uno and for the field goal attempts and extra points if need be. Looks like the Bearcats will be setting up on the right side of the field, seemingly to receive. And now they do reverse sides, I believe. So the Warriors will start on the right side of the field, going right to left. The Bearcats will go from left to right, and they will receive here. We'll see who will spot it up and kick it. It looks like it will be Jazz Hansen. The wide receiver will work it from the holder. And back deep, familiar faces for the Bearcats, Sadiq Palmer and Kyle Ward will await the kickoff. We did speak to Sadiq Palmer during pregame as well. If you missed some of that, we will re-air it during halftime as we had our internet cut out and our sound with it. But we'll get that sorted out, have it for you for halftime. So getting into this one will be Jazz Hansen, who will start us off officially here. Clock already started moving, Joe, but now they reset it to 15 minutes, so we get a fresh 15 on the clock, and away we go. Week 3 of the AAL2 season. That takes a short hop and ends up at about the 20-yard line. Taking it first was Steven Puzo, and Puzo breaks the 25 and is on the Warriors side of the field.
And we saw it very often during week 1. A lot of drives starting in plus territory. That's not something that fans of the game of football outside of the arena realm are used to seeing. But keep in mind, 50 yards long is the field, and this drive will start in plus territory for Jersey as they take over just inside of midfield. Looks like this ball will be snapped from right at the 25, perhaps at the 24 of the Warriors.
Right, these lines were painted fresh again here this afternoon, the hash marks and the yard markers. So we here at PDF anyway thank our officials for that, and of course our game crew led by A.J. Roque, head coach, who we'll probably speak to at halftime today as well to get his thoughts. Usually get AJ on during pregame. And the Bearcats come on the field now. 90 points this season for the Bearcats, just under 90 points, I should say, 88. Highest scoring team in the AAL2 so far. And getting a little bit of a head start, I believe, was Dante Owens on that. He was the motion man on the near side. And I think we'll back up the Bearcats 5 yards to start things off. It'll be 1st and 15.
And we saw penalties turn what was a possession on the goal line late in week 1 into a possession deep in their own territory. Holding can do that to you very quickly with the shortened field. And early in this game, it's a 5-yard penalty against Jersey as they back up into their own end of the field.
See the time on your screen. That is accurate as we run the clock here in arena football. First down and 15, and something that the Jersey Bearcats got in trouble with late in their game against the Steel City Stampede here was the turnovers that brought them back. Crowd getting into it here. In motion once again was Owens. Cologne looking on the right side of the field, tosses one up, and that one is collected and brought down promptly at the 20 was Kyle Ward. So Ward was working on that right side with Owens. Pickup of about 8 or 9 on the play, and the Bearcats looking to go quickly here.
Well, Kyle Ward's name is a name we said a lot during week 1. Cologne made a great throw to him there. Under pressure, falling away from his target. Not an easy play.
Second down and about 7. Cologne, left side of the field, and that one is caught for the first down. So they will move the sticks there as Dante Owens makes the catch. So Cologne goes right, now Cologne goes left.
And it looks like the Bearcats will go quickly again here as they head right to the line.
Might have found something here in this hurry up. Claude Joan Jules lining up on the right side of the line. This is a run this time towards the right side. And taken down at about the 8-yard line, I believe.
That was Nasir Adams, who had a lot of carries in that week 1 game.
So ball is officially spotted at about the 9-yard line, just inside the 10. Second down, I believe, about 7 on the play. Cologne once again out of the shotgun. It was Owens in motion. He's traveling across the end zone, nothing doing. They have to drop off in the corner, and it's a touchdown. And he's got in.
Well, the Warriors had a chance there to bump Ward into the boards, and they could not do it. And he was able to work his way around a defender and in for the touchdown. As I believe we may get a second look at it momentarily, but the Bearcats marched straight down the field on their opening drive, much like they did in week 1, and they're up 6-0 early.
And a bridge 24-yard drive. Storego will kick the point after, but we could see we kind of lost it there in the corner. But, coming out with the ball. The extra point is good by Storego, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Bearcats.
And that's something else we noticed during the week 1 game. Extra points will be big in this game. Those are not something that either team will take for granted in this game. And in week 1, it came down late to a 2-point try that was successful for the Stampede. That gave them the chance to take a 2-point lead and the win with a touchdown as time expired in that game. So don't overlook the extra points. Don't overlook 2-point conversions. And though it's less likely here in this facility at the Warananko Sports Complex, don't overlook the opportunity for the kicking team to score a point on a kickoff as well. That Uno always in play for 1 point. Though, as I mentioned, here in the indoor facility with the low-hanging roof, it is less likely we will see that play.
Yeah, for sure. As you'd have to kick it on a line and strong. But we mentioned how important it was for the Bearcats to get off to a fair start. They sure have. Storego gets into that one, and that one skips at about the 25, ends up towards the goal line, and taken now by Flowers. He cuts over to the right and is spilled down at about the 12-yard line. Sorry, that was Cameron White. Or was it?
I think you were right initially, Dave.
It was
Flowers.
Jarvie Flowers. So we'll get to see the Warriors for the first time offensively as the clock continues to run. Just over 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And we saw them 2 weeks ago, the Bearcats scoring on their first 3 drives of the first half. They went into that one with a 20-12 lead at halftime. And the Bearcats coming off that huge win against the Warriors where they forced multiple turnovers, had touchdowns on defense, special teams, and offense. We'll get to see them for the first time here defensively. And calling the shots will be Dre Williams from the shotgun. Wearing number 24, Williams looks, and that one's almost picked off. Undercutting that was John DePalma. Or was it Joe? I'm sorry. It was Keeman Coleman coming in on it.
Well, Dave, that was very nearly 6 points the other way. And I'm not sure That the Bearcats defensively could have drawn that one up much better, as it looked like a zone defense look, and Coleman broke down on that route. He read it perfectly, but just could not complete the catch on the INT attempt.
Yeah, Coleman, the linebacker, hanging out right in the middle of the field, was able to read it quickly, and trying to get in the way of that one was Sadiq Palmer, but the catch was made, or was it? Yes, it was. So they'll move up a few more yards here to about the 18-yard line. We have about a 3rd and 6 or so, maybe a little bit more. The Warriors, too, working pretty quickly here as they get set up at the line. Looks like the motion man will be Flowers. He gets held up at the line. They want to go for the sideline, and Flowers makes the catch. He did not go out of bounds on his own. The Bearcats struggling to get him down, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors.
That was a great job by Flowers there, not only to make that catch, but to get himself away from the boards and pick up some extra yardage on that play.
Might have a flag on this play.
Looks that way.
Might be coming back. Let's see. As the officials will talk things over just a little bit, as you see the Bearcats having a tough time bringing down Flowers.
I didn't see the flag come out, but they certainly walked that play back.
They certainly did, and the down marker says 3rd and still at the same yard line unless they choose to run it back. They do not. So I don't know what happened there, Joe, unless something happened up the field, but it's going to be a 3rd and 6 again for the Warriors. Not sure about that. That was thrown for Flowers, but that was dropped as he was converged on by a pair of defenders. Keeman Coleman once again in the neighborhood.
Flowers, the intended target on that one, was in heavy traffic. If he catches that ball, he's taking a hit from the front immediately. And he couldn't hang on in between a pair of Bearcat defenders, but now, he positioned himself right at the sticks. That would have been good for a 1st down.
And there was another flag down, but it was declined by the Bearcats. I believe it was a holding call, and instead, it'll be a 4th down and 7. And the Bearcats looking to hold here. Williams out of the shotgun. He receives, scampering up the middle of the field, and he is swallowed up. Jervon Young was the first one in, and he was joined by Matt Gore. And the Bearcats will take over.
And Gore certainly prevented Williams from getting a pass off on that play. We'll see if we can spot where Williams wanted to go with the football. Looks like perhaps he was going to take a chance over the middle of the field, but I don't think there was much there. Gore ensured that Williams did not get a pass off in that spot. And Jersey has it back following that sack on 4th down, and now they take over at the Warriors' 17-yard line, poised to go ahead by 2 scores.
Pretty big moment in the game for this Warriors defense as well. Can they afford to go down by multiple scores early? The give is to Savardis, and he's going to run this one all the way in. Now, he got hit right at the goal line, but the signal is made. Touchdown as Pete Savardis was able to take it. He got the inside handoff from Cologne and went the distance.
And we saw the running game of the Bearcats on display in the first half of their Week 1 matchup against the Stampede. Right there, great blocking on that left side. And then it was a foot race to the board. Savardis beat the entire secondary up the sideline and took it in for the touchdown. Jersey 13, Maryland nothing as we approach 4 minutes to go in this first quarter.
And another one-play drive for the Bearcats. We've seen that often so far this season. The AAL2's most prolific offense strikes again. Sturego. That one is put up and good. 14-0 as Sturego kicks another.
That's 2 for 2 on extra points for Sturego. He and this Jersey offense off to a very nice start. You can't ask for much more. If you're the Bearcats, the defense does its job, as has been the norm for just about all of their first 2 games. In Week 1, they did their job until the final 2 or 3 minutes. Just 1 or 2 plays went against that Bearcats defense. A good showing last week against the Rage, and a good start picking up a stop on the first drive for Maryland in this game. And now the Warriors already going to be forced to play with some sense of urgency in this spot as they trail by 2 scores. And they only scored 8 points last week, so they can't afford to fall behind by much more this early in the game.
Absolutely not. And, of course, that's the game within the game that we will keep our eyes on is the Bearcats, of course, owning this lead and taking it and playing that 60 minutes like Sadiq Palmer mentioned during pregame to us. Flowers takes it at about his own 6. Scampers to the left side, and once again, tough time bringing him down, but they do just shy of midfield.
At the end of that return, Flowers had just one arm cradled around that football. That could have been dangerous, but he had one of his own men in white there with him to help guide him to the ground, and he holds on. A nice return out to just about midfield, about maybe 2 yards short of that midfield stripe, and the Warriors will take over at their own 23-yard line.
You see it on your screen, time winding down here in the first quarter, but you get down early in these games, it could be a real pressure cooker with that time escaping down. Now the clock will stop inside of a minute left in the second quarter, just before halftime, and will stop on every dead ball. Williams, the inside give to Anderson. Anderson tries to plow ahead, but he gets met by the black jerseys. They came in waves led by Matt Gore.
And Anderson is a big back running downhill up the middle on that last play. And if you're the Bearcats, you have to make sure you bring him down early. If he gets running down the field with a head of steam, he is going to be a very tough tackle.
Usual outdoor game, Joe, you like to think that your run sets up the pass. Here in arena, it's kind of the opposite. You need your pass to kind of set up the run. Get a lot of guys hanging back, but that time nothing doing for the Warriors. 2nd down and 10. As there was no gain on that play. Williams once again receiving some signals. Nobody in motion this time. They want to look in the flats of Flowers. Flowers making one man miss and getting spilled out. On the Bearcats side of the field, he got about 3 on the play.
That looked like a screen with the receiver on a bubble to the outside. It was very crowded along the boards on that play. The referee had to get out of the way, as did the person holding the down markers. But a good job by Flowers again to avoid being thrust into the boards there. And he was able to pick up a couple of extra yards on that play. Looks like a 3rd down, about maybe 6 or 7.
Get the feeling that Flowers is the go-to here for the Warriors. He's touched the ball on just about every play, minus the rush. This is Williams now looking middle of the field, and that one was underthrown. There almost to make a play again was Keeman Coleman, and it'll be another big 4th down here.
And it looks like no hesitation from the Warriors. They are going to go here on 4th down, and as you'll see on this replay, another dangerous pass attempted by Williams, trying to split those 2 zones in the middle of the field. If he elevates that ball a bit, he may have had a chance to get it to Flowers, but it was going to be a tight window regardless.
Now the clock has stopped on the field at 35 seconds. Not sure why that happened, but it'll be 4th and 7 nonetheless. Williams gets the play off. He wants to look right sideline, underthrown and almost picked off by Sadiq Palmer. Now there is a flag down. We'll see if it is against Palmer. It is. So he gets whistled for the defensive pass interference, and that will set the Warriors up with a 1st down.
And when that ball was in flight, it looked like Palmer might have a chance at his 4th pick in the last 2 weeks. And according to the official, he did not get his head around quickly enough on that play. So he is flagged for the PI for now. And the call will stand as it was indicated by the back judge. So the Warriors will move all the way up here toward the goal line. Looked like that foul occurred somewhere between the 5 and the 10.
Right.
Though, is it a spot foul or is it a 10 or 15-yard penalty? That's the question.
They're going to walk it off now. It's about a 5-yard penalty. Unless it was holding, defensive holding, that could have been the call as well. 9 seconds left in this first quarter, officially on our clock here at the arena. I think they might want to get this sorted out, though, Joe.
The signal was certainly pass interference.
That's what I thought, too.
Though, with a 50-yard field, to give 10 or 15 on pass interference is a lot.
They'll move the sticks regardless, and the ball right now is spotted at the 18-yard line of the Bearcats. First down of the game for the Warriors. It comes by way of penalty. 25 seconds officially has been placed on the clock. Williams, he'll run it himself. He drops the ball. That ball is live, and it's fumbled. It was picked up by the Bearcats. This is Nick Price. He loses the ball ahead, and it's converged on by the Warriors. They'll regain possession. I believe that'll be a first down. That way, that'll be the end of the first quarter, Joe. And at the end of one quarter complete, our score is the Bearcats 14 and the Warriors nothing. We'll get one more look at this before we get to quarter number 2.
What an end to the first quarter as the Bearcats force yet another turnover. We mentioned the 3 INTs for Palmer last week. We saw several turnovers forced by this Bearcats defense in the Week 1 game. And very fortunately for the Warriors, the Bearcats give it right back as that ball was fumbled a second time on the return. And Dave, there was great blocking set up. It looked like that might go for a touchdown in the other direction. Instead, Maryland gets the ball back with a fresh set of downs to start quarter number 2.
All right, so we will keep it right here for the second quarter. Quick moving first. Bearcats up by a couple of touchdowns, but what a swing play that was. The Warriors get new life. Officially, this is their third drive, Joe, when you think about it. Their second drive ends in a turnover, but they get that back, right back. Williams once again out of the shotgun. Looking middle of the field. Flowers is there, but he gets popped, and that ball came out. Sadiq Palmer laying the hit.
That matchup is certainly going to be one to watch in this game. Palmer against Flowers. They've gone at it on more than one occasion right there. That battle goes to Palmer on the big hit. But that's as good a ball as we've seen from Williams in this game. That was another tight window. He put it right on target, got the ball out on time. Flowers just couldn't hold on due to the hit by Palmer.
And once again, the pass intended for Flowers, who's been the go-to so far. Now he's the inside slot receiver on this play. Williams looks left, drops it off in the flat, gaining positive yardage. Maybe a little bit more was Hansen. He gets spilled down after about a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, the Bearcats once again in a zone look defensively on that play, and Williams got the ball out quickly. The Bearcats have been putting some pressure on the Warriors quarterback in this game, but perhaps if he holds that ball just a bit longer, there may have been some more room to run for the receiver on that play.
In motion is Flowers on 3rd down. Williams going to take it himself. Does have a lane. Very close to the first down. He might be a couple of yards short. It will be 4th down. That hole once again closing pretty quickly once Williams was in the open field. It'll be a 4th down and 1 coming up.
Well, you could see on that play the attention drawn by Flowers over the middle of the field. That really opened up that running lane as the Bearcats' defensive line was going after the quarterback. There was a gaping hole up the middle, and that was a nice gain on 3rd down to set up a 4th down and much more manageable, maybe just a yard or 2 on this 4th down play.
So here we go, 4th down, where the Warriors so far 0 for 1, and we are going to have, I believe, a timeout was called. It was. Timeout by the Warriors. So, Joe, with that timeout, why don't we step away for a quick 30 seconds. When we come back, more Bearcats football. It'll be 4th and 1. Stay with us.
Game is being brought to you by Staples, the official office superstore. With multiple locations throughout the tri-state area, Staples has what you need for your office, home, or home office. Visit us at staples.com for the location nearest you. And by Phenom, providing the official ball of the American Arena League and the official outfitting partner of the Jersey Bearcats. Visit PhenomEliteBrand.com for gotta-have apparel and accessories.
4th and 1, we are back here from Warananko. Big 4th down. The give underneath and nothing doing as the Bearcats are there. Big time tackle by Shea Davis, and finishing things off was the rest of the Bearcats defense as Quincy McIntyre tried to go right through the heart of this defense.
Well, McIntyre was substituted in ahead of what was going to be a 4th down snap before that timeout. Warriors got a chance to talk it over following the timeout, a very quick one at that, but they came back out And perhaps that was a read option on 4th down. I couldn't tell based on the body language of Williams at the quarterback spot whether or not he had the option to keep that ball. But Bearcats really paid him no regard. They came storming into the backfield and made sure McIntyre could not pick up that 1st down. And now Jersey has it back with a chance to make this a 3-score game.
So with 12:05 to go and counting here in the first half, the Bearcats get it back. Savardis comes in, right to left. Cologne may have to take it himself. Now he drops off wide open on the right sideline, making one man miss. And in for the score is Nasir Adams.
And that all began with Stephen Cologne extending that play. He was under immense pressure in the pocket, was flushed out to his right. We saw that earlier in the game. Cologne forced to roll out, was able to buy the time necessary to find Adams open, and there you see it. The defender along that far sideline had to respect Cologne's ability to run. He lost Adams behind him, and the rest was easy for Nasir Adams, making that grab out of the backfield. He takes it in for 6 more.
So Storego trying to make it 3 for 3 on his end with extra points. And that one goes off the top of the facade and in, but that does count because it went off the netting.
Bearcats now with a 21-point lead early in this second quarter. And Dave, you have to like what you've seen so far from this Jersey offense. We've talked about their big play potential almost ad nauseum at this point. They've had it on full display so far in this first half.
Well, of their 3 touchdowns, Joe, 2 on 1 play. So 2 one-play drives, and just like that, it's 21-zip. And now heavy onus on the Warriors to get this thing into a game again.
Warriors need to score on this drive. Jersey got the ball first, so if the Warriors can get a score here and pitch a shutout for the rest of the half, they could get it down just 2 possessions, perhaps less, if they can score twice. But keep in mind the clock always running outside of the final minute here in arena football.
Storego skies that one and down at about the 2-yard line. Flowers tried to reverse field a little bit, got away from the first wave and is spilled out and crunched out of bounds at about the 21, 22-yard line, where the Warriors will take over. They've only had the 1 first down in this game, and that was by way of penalty. They've been stopped twice on 4th down. They've had a turnover as well, which the Bearcats gave right back. But it's now or never time for the Warriors here, as they are falling down a deeper and deeper hole here as we approach midway through the second quarter and as we approach the end of the first half.
The Warriors need points on this drive, Dave. And
right.
Flowers has been involved in just about every play, whether it's drawing the attention of the defense or being targeted on a pass.
McIntyre is in the backfield with Williams, who looks left, now middle of the field, dropping it off and intercepted by Palmer. Indeed, he got it. Another turnover as Sadiq Palmer stepped in front of Flowers that time and made the gorgeous interception.
And that mistake was forced by a collapsing pocket around Dre Williams. Here you see it, pressure coming up the middle from Young. That forced an early throw, and Palmer once again read it well. As we've seen this Bearcats defense jump more than 1 pass already. Earlier in the game, we saw Coleman jump a ball. Palmer had a chance for an INT, was instead flagged for pass interference. No flag on that play. It's Bearcats football once again, leading by 21.
So the Bearcats will set up in Warriors territory at the 24-yard line. Cologne will operate out of the shotgun. In motion, Ward. Maybe the home run ball to Ward in the corner, and that one's incomplete.
Good coverage on that play by Day Lee. He was right there. If that ball was on target, he would have had a chance for an interception. Best case for the Bearcats, that was going to be a jump ball between a pair of number 6s, Kyle Ward and Lee of the Warriors. So Bearcats do not score on 1 play this time, but still find themselves in a great position leading by 21.
Right. They went for the home run ball again as Kyle Ward was the intended receiver, and he was the man in motion. 7.5 minutes to go. There was a flag down, and they are walking it off. It was against the Bearcats, so it'll be a 1st and 15. So even if Ward was able to make the spectacular catch, that would have been called back. 1st down and 15 coming up here for the Bearcats. Warriors have not been whistled for a flag yet in this game, but the Bearcats guilty of a couple. Once again, it's Ward who comes in, full head of steam. They look towards the sideline. Breaking one tackle was Owens. Owens still on his feet and finally crashes down at about the 15-yard line, maybe just short of the 1st down.
And that was going to set up the potential for a 2nd down and long. Instead, Bearcats get to within a yard of a 1st down. That's a huge swing with that missed tackle. You'll see it right here along that far sideline. And that's a bit of a tough angle to make the tackle from when the receiver is making a move to the inside. But a nice job there on that play by Owens to make a man miss and get to within a yard of a 1st down.
Yeah, absolutely. As he had to make that catch, double back, and shed one of the tacklers. This is Adams now, cutting in towards the middle of the field. He got shoved, but he gets all the way in for the score. Nasir Adams. And the Bearcats are up by 4 scores.
Well, on that play, it looked like Adams was helped forward by a defender rather than being wrapped up. He was shoulder checked toward the end zone. You'll see it right here as he makes his move toward the middle of the field. And instead of bringing him down, looks like Philly Cottrell may have helped him forward just a bit. Didn't have much in the way of white jerseys in that area of the field. He was really the last line of defense in that spot.
So here we go as we get set for the extra point. Storego had it blocked up front, and it ends up out, and that'll just be a missed opportunity on the point after. 27-0 will remain our score. 5-10 and counting here in the game's first half.
Well, I said it last drive. The Warriors needed to score last time they had the ball. They certainly have to now if they're going to remain in this game. This Jersey offense has showed no signs of slowing down so far. And the contingent supporting the Bearcats has only grown since kickoff.
Right.
A lot more people in this building now making noise than we had when this game got started.
Yep. We have a pretty nice crowd that's filed here and across the way from us as well, which is the part of the screen that you guys see. Another kickoff upcoming.
And that did touch the ceiling, so that's a dead ball.
Joe, while we have a dead ball, I want to send a shout out to my wife at home, Jennifer Pizzuto, who's been following us and letting us know that we're doing all right here and our internet is back. And so we appreciate that, Jen.
Well, I'd shout out my girlfriend, but my father's right in front of me, so I don't want him to know about that.
Well, let's shout out your dad, who's right in front of us and hanging out in person.
Just kidding, Dad. Don't get your hopes up.
Well, anyway, we get set for the Warriors' next drive of this game. At the 20-yard line, they will start. Williams surveys, now looking for the outlet and does find his man. We have a whistle that comes out late. Looks like that was Desmond Barksdale, who was the eligible lineman on that play, or was he? Maybe that's why the flag came down. Let's see.
For those who aren't aware, you are allowed to have one guard eligible as a wide receiver per play, but I do believe you have to, in that case, have an extra blocker in the backfield, though I could be mistaken on that point. It didn't look like they had an extra blocker on that play. We'll see what the flag is for. They haven't moved the ball back yet.
Well, let's see what they do. And it's going to be additional yardage after the catch. So perhaps there was a face mask, perhaps there was a late hit. But this is going to be an automatic 1st down for the Warriors. It's only their 2nd first down in the game, both by way of penalty. As they'll move the sticks here, and the ball will be spotted at the 14-yard line of the Bearcats.
And if you're the Warriors here, you have to be thinking 2 scores before halftime. Get in quickly here and then use your timeouts and manage the clock so that you have another chance before the intermission as they're going to adjust some of the pads along the far side. That's valuable seconds that will come off the clock here as the Warriors wait to snap this football.
You want to keep your subjects in the middle of the The give is underneath to Flowers. Flowers tried to bang it off left tackle, but he paid a price for that. And he was met by Ramirez, who showed no mercy on that takedown, Joe.
Well, the defensive line of Jersey, led by Ramirez, blew that play up, and there was never a chance for Flowers to go anywhere on that play. You'll see it here as we get a second look.
Yep.
And from the interior as well, Young was all over that play. He got things started, forced Flowers to bounce that toward the outside, and then Ramirez finished it with that big tackle. And you get tackled a few more times like that, and it becomes a very long day very quickly.
We're going to have a timeout that is going to be called by the Warriors, so they will officially mark that, Joe, as a loss of 1, even though it could have been a lot more. So it'll be a 2nd down and 11. Even though he was taken down well past the line of scrimmage. But you were right, Joe. That first option was to go on the inside. That got bottled up, and that led him outside right into the waiting arms of Ramirez, who took him down almost with the offensive lineman as well.
There was a big mass of bodies along the far sideline there on that play. 3 players went down to the turf, and many more were waiting to get in on that tackle if the play had continued. But now with that, the Warriors are down to just a single timeout, and it's going to be very tough to extend this half into a chance for 2 scores. Before they can think about that, they need to get in here on this drive.
Remember, there is a 1-minute warning in Arena, and of course, clock stoppages inside of a minute to go. Williams on the near side that time, being thrown into the boards, was Jazz Hansen again. Got about 6 on the play, put it up at the 10-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Warriors.
And Dave, they did add some time back onto the clock.
Yep.
So a little bit more time here for the Warriors, but with under 2 minutes to play, you might have to think about here not letting Jersey get the ball back instead of trying to score twice yourself.
Right. So here we go. Williams now still looking for the Warriors' first down by way of either the ground or the air. They've had 2 via penalty. Williams, middle of the field, skies one. It is underneath by Flowers, and he did catch it. The catch was made. Great look, and the Warriors are on the board. Great way to see it through for Flowers on that play.
Well, I thought Flowers may have been held on that play over the middle before the ball got there. You'll see it here on replay. It looked like...
Yeah, there's a little tug there, right?
Perhaps he may have even bumped into the official. I couldn't tell, but it looked like they gave him one of those very subtle hooks as he crossed the goal line to try and turn his body away from the ball, prevent him from using that front arm. But Flowers did a great job to maintain his composure on that catch. He did bobble initially, but he held on. Strong hands by the Maryland wideout, and that's exactly what the Warriors needed.
And maybe with the 1-minute warning, that will give us another opportunity to look at it. See if Andrew might be able to slow this one down just a tad as we await the extra point here. Or maybe we'll get the extra point first. Let's see.
I thought there was a chance they may have wanted to look at it again.
That's what I thought, too. We were getting motion to maybe re-look at it. They're going to go for 2 here. Williams has that one batted up in the air. It is caught and making his way. That ball was lost at about the goal line. Did they get in? There's no official signal yet. No good. McIntyre was just short. He plucked that out of the air and was able to advance it. Score remained 27-6, and here we get another look at the two-point conversion batted up. And we'll get another look at that touchdown in slow-mo. I'm sure the Bearcats were protesting whether or not Flowers even made the catch, but he certainly did.
No question, at least from our perspective. We'll see if you can track him all the way to the corner.
Here. Yeah, that was the little tug. It wasn't enough, I don't think, to merit it, but man, that was a catch.
I'll tell you, Dave, I think the defensive back was also hampered by the official on that one. I think the official's positioning as the back judge with the limited width of the field definitely impacted the defensive back's ability to cover that. And I think that necessitated the little hook. I think it was a good no call overall. Great catch by Flowers. And on that 2-point try, McIntyre was awfully close to extending that ball over the goal line. He came up just short.
Now, interesting here, there is a lot of field between the up men and the deep men, and that will be on a line and played by Ward. Ward scampers to the left side, is able to duck away from one defender, but he is spilled at about the 15, maybe just above it. And with 50 seconds to go, clock stops inside of a minute to go in the half. Now, Joe, 50 seconds is a relative eternity in arena football. We saw that firsthand not once but twice 2 weeks ago when the Steel City Stampede and the Jersey Bearcats locked horns. So plenty of time here for the Bearcats.
Pun intended?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I appreciate a good pun. Nonetheless, I think objective number 1 here for Jersey, make sure Maryland doesn't get the football back. Objective 2, you know you can score in 50 seconds.
Right.
You have 3 timeouts. Definitely go for the end zone. Don't play it too conservative here. I don't think they will.
No, I don't think so either. 27-6 is our score. Cologne looks deep down the field. Skies one, and that one hit the netting up top. So Cologne skied that a little bit too long. Socrates was the intended receiver downfield, but they went for the home run ball again on first down, Joe.
They sure did. He threw it up into a double team there. Worst case there, if you do turn the ball over in that spot, in all likelihood, the Warriors end up with the ball down around their own goal line, perhaps via a touchback as well. But there were 2 defenders covering that play, and that was a bit of a risky throw for the first play of the drive.
Yep. But the Bearcats have gone for the touchdown pass just about every first down that they've had. Minus, of course, one of the rushes that they went in for a score. Cologne now with 43 seconds to go. He'll send Ward in motion. Ward gets a head start. He's in the middle of the field. That one went off his elevated fingertips at about midfield, so it'll be third down.
Off his fingertips and nearly into the arms of a defensive back. There were 2 defenders in the area there. It looked like Kadeem Bailey was among them. Jerome Jr. as well was in the area. And if that ball hangs in the air just a bit longer, that could have been 6 the other way as well.
Absolutely. Those tip drill interceptions, we've seen plenty of those as well in our experience here. Third down and 10. This might be the first third down of the game for the Bearcats. Rush with Cologne. Once again, middle of the field. Almost the same exact play. And Ward is able to make one man miss before getting the first down at the 20-yard line. Day Lee with the tackle. But this will be a first down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
And that was a big gamble on that play by Maryland. They brought a blitz there and had a bit of an umbrella coverage. Really nobody between the line of scrimmage and where Ward caught the ball. He had defenders behind him, but when you're in that spot as a safety, it's important you make that tackle. Cologne did a great job to get that throw off. He had a defender coming in untouched through the middle of the line. He put it right on target, and Ward was able to make one man miss, not 2. If he avoids a second tackler, he's gone.
I believe the Bearcats might have called timeout here, Joe, because that clock should have been running even after the first down. As long as they get positive yardage, the clock runs. So I believe the Bearcats may have called a timeout. I'm not entirely sure. But we do have 32.5 seconds to go here. Cologne under heavy pressure. Can he get away? He does. Middle of the field. And getting hit hard in the back was Adams. And now the flag comes down a little bit late. Adams slow to get up. I believe that was an inadvertent hit.
No
to
question.
Small the back for Adams. But either way, the flag did come down.
It's roughing the passer.
Right. So I don't think we got that on our screen. Oh, yeah, we did. The late shove there. And there wasn't much to it, Joe. Philly Cottrell was the one who got to Stephen Cologne. We'll get another look at that when we can, as getting attended to is Adams. And Adams looks like he will get up under his own power.
He took a hard shot to the lower back on that play. Definitely not intentional.
No, certainly not. And
Joshua Hawley gives him a pat on the back there. He meant no malice on that one, but that's a really bad penalty on the roughing the passer.
Yeah, it was. And I don't know if there was enough there.
My eyes weren't over there.
Yeah, but we saw it on the replay. Julian Robinson, the coach of the Warriors, did protest that call. But you could see it's right at the tail end.
Oh,
just a kind of a shove in the back.
Come on.
Yep.
Now, the question is, how late was the shove?
We just saw it. Cologne had just gotten rid of it. I don't agree with the call either.
Yeah, that wasn't much. That wasn't much.
So, automatic first down, I believe. And it's right at the 10-yard line. So they're going to call this a first and goal, Joe. First down and goal from just outside the 10. But officially the 10-yard line. And clock stop with 27.5 to go. Cologne looking, corner of the end zone, touchdown. Kyle Ward was left alone in the corner, and Cologne read it beautifully, dropped the diamond on him, and the Bearcats have added 6 more.
He was all alone there, Dave. There was nobody within about 5 or 10 yards of him. Let's see how it happened. And you see there, he runs a wheel route up that left sideline. We lost it for just a moment in your picture, but the safety assignments in the secondary didn't have anyone covering that deep third on the left side, and that allowed Adams to catch the ball wide open. Or excuse me, Ward to catch the ball wide open.
Storigo puts it through for the point after it. It's 34-6 as he is 4 for 5 in that department, and the Bearcats now owning a huge 28-point lead.
Well, the Bearcats did what they had to do, scored again, and now Warriors have just 1 timeout and 21 seconds to go the length of the field. You have to think they'll lose some of that on the kick return, so really tough spot to be in if you're Maryland. You'd love to get points here, but as we saw last week, I think the Stampede did it in about 11 seconds.
Yeah,
so
something like that, yeah.
The Warriors have double that.
Right. Now the Warriors, by our count, only have 1 timeout remaining, too, so that's in play as well. Remember, if you go forward inside of a minute, the clock does run, unless you obviously go out of bounds or call a timeout. Storigo puts it on the ground. It ends up hitting the boards at about the 17, 18-yard line, and that's where the Warriors will take over with a chance. Got 15 seconds on the nose remaining in this first half. The Bearcats in complete control, 34-6.
Now, it looks like there was some protest from the Bearcats when that play was blown dead.
From what I know, the ball is always live on the kickoff. And unless it goes over top and out of physical play, I believe that should have been live. I think that's what they were discussing.
I think you're right. Because as soon as that whistle was blown, A.J. Roque immediately had a look of befuddlement and was signaling toward the official.
Well, if a mistake was made, the mistake will stand because the ball is being placed at the 18. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors with 15 seconds to go. By now we know touchdown drives of 1 play, pretty common. That one's in the flats of Flowers. Flowers goes ahead, 25, breaks a tackle, and he is going to go to the house. 1 play, touchdown for the Warriors.
And the big playmaker for this Maryland offense comes through in a big spot. They needed points, and they get 6 in under 10 seconds.
Well,
here you'll get a look.
Yep.
The Bearcats had a chance to make the tackle, and they could not.
3 different Bearcats on that play. Couldn't make the play. And so 34-12 is now our score with a 2-point conversion looming here. Trips to the left side for Williams, who has McIntyre to his right. They'll look corner, and making the catch for the 2-point conversion were the Warriors. That was Bundy with his first catch of the half. and that gets them to within 20 at the half, 34-14.
Well, Dave, that was a very well-designed play. I don't know if you saw what they did. They set up that same look from the previous play once again. They showed screen pass, and then they snuck Bundy back behind, who would have been the blockers on a potential screen play. He was left all alone in the corner of the end zone. It's even more impressive given the fact there isn't much room to work down there in the corner.
Yeah, especially with that curved end zone, as you see on this side of the field. But yeah, I was looking at Bundy the entire way on that replay, and you could see he feigned the attempt at a block and just made a beeline there for his position, and Williams was in perfect harmony with him. 34-14 with 5 seconds to go. Now, the Bearcats have run kickoffs back for a touchdown. They did it last week. I believe they had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown last week. Let's see what we have here. Line drive kick over the head. Hits the boards, but taken at about the 1 by Ward. Ward makes one man miss. A second, he's at midfield, and he cannot break the tackle of Quincy McIntyre, who easily saves a touchdown. And we go into halftime with the Bearcats only up by 20.
Well, if McIntyre does not make that tackle, Dave, we would have had 2 touchdowns in the final 15 seconds of this first half. Here you'll see it again. Huge tackle there by McIntyre. He saves 6 points, and the Warriors will go into the half trailing by just 20. Our score at halftime, Jersey 34, Maryland 14.
All right, so what we will do is we will step aside for an extended break here at the half. Once again, as Joe said, our halftime score, 34-14 in favor of the Bearcats. Stay with us. We have more Bearcats action, including what we missed during pregame with our interviews when we come back after this. Today's game is presented by Total Performance Bodywork with Dave Riemann. Dave is a body worker, licensed massage therapist, and strength and movement coach. He's combined his wide variety of expertise into a system that he calls Total Performance Bodywork. Trusted by professional athletes and bodybuilders, Dave has been helping people to recover from new and old injuries, improve their breathing efficiency, athletic performance, mobility, flexibility, and their overall strength. Visit Total Performance Bodywork at TotalPerformanceBodywork.com or contact Dave by calling 610-570-7480 or email daveriemann@rcn.com. New Jersey Urban News is a voice for the voiceless, breaking news, health and wellness, business, the arts, and the latest local sports. As a black news source in the Garden State, New Jersey Urban News is dedicated to covering New Jersey's vibrant African-American community through informative stories and thorough coverage. New Jersey Urban News covers stories often overlooked by mainstream media, impacting the 1.3 million people that make up New Jersey's black community. Visit them today at njurbannews.com. Today's broadcast is being sponsored by the U.S. Army, the U.S. Army Junior ROTC, and the Crusaders, a winning combination of enterprise, leadership, innovation, courage, and commitment. Learn more about the U.S. Army and ROTC programs by visiting goarmy.com and at usarmyjrotc.com. Become a part of our winning team through enrollment, employment, and leadership opportunities. Be all you can be with the Army and Army ROTC. East Coast Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Three Bleezies Entertainment Group on the Three Bleezies Facebook and Instagram page. Catch the Three Bleezies weekly show, as well as live recordings and all the opinions and the unfiltered hot topics you've come to love about semi-pro.
It's the resource for semi-pro football and more, from the official source for all things Bleezy. The Three Bleezys Facebook and Instagram page. Visit and follow now. Mundo Mundo. Yeah, yeah.
Unique Resin Design specializes in home decor with one-of-a-kind handcrafted resin products. Perfect for your home and any place you love. Perfect for gifts and parties. Let Imani Green dazzle you with inspirational creations you can get at only one place, Unique Resin Designs. Visit us at uniqueresindesign.com and learn how to get free shipping on your next order.
Lila Keys Photography. To capture the very best memories, let Lila Keys Photography be your answer. For maternity and milestone photos, family portraits, events and graduations. From simple headshots to action-packed sports photography, Lila Keys Photography preserves your greatest moments and achievements. Reach out at lilakeys21@gmail.com or reach out via Instagram at Lila Keys.
Welcome back to the Waranenko Sports Complex here. We are at halftime between the Jersey Bearcats and the Maryland Warriors. Military Appreciation Night here at Waranenko. Home game number 2 for the Bearcats, and they are in complete control, 34-14, and almost scored to end the first half as well. Now, we do understand that during pregame, we may have lost a part of our feed because of our internet connectivity. We apologize for that, but we do have the interviews that we conducted with Jermaine Sanders and Sadiq Palmer recorded, and we want to get those to you now. So why don't we go back in time to our pregame and have a chat with Jermaine Sanders, who is the co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats and the co-owner of the AAL and the AAL2. We'll throw it down field side to our pregame interview with Jermaine. All right, Joe, I'm here with Jermaine Sanders, co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats and co-owner of the AAL and AAL2. Jermaine, a couple of weeks ago, spoke with AJ about the league itself, getting it started from the ground up, of course, reintroducing the Bearcats. Now that we're 2 weeks in, how are things going?
Very well. We just took an L a few weeks ago at home, but we bounced back last week. Thankfully, we got the win, strong win at that. And we're back at home tonight for Military Appreciation Night. And we look to do the same thing we did last week, come out with a W.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up Military Appreciation Night because every home game has its own theme. The crowd was electric 2 weeks ago here. What a great atmosphere. You have a lot to do with that, of course, organizing some of this game day, seeing you running around here, during game day, making sure everything gets done. But how important are the sponsors on days like this? And, of course, inviting youth groups and, of course, Military Appreciation tonight.
Oh, absolutely. That's like the heartbeat in terms of any sports franchise. You know, the partnerships that you have within the community and the partnerships you have with the corporate sponsors. They're pretty much what fuels us and afford to be able to have these things. You know, we came from a small facility and now into a bigger facility, and these things cost. So, with our partners out there, we're able to do that. So
excellent. And as far as local businesses or other people who want to get involved with the Jersey Bearcats product or even the AAL and AAL2, how do they go about doing that?
Oh, well, they certainly can reach out to me, 201-667-6374, or they certainly can give us a buzz on the email at jerseybbearcatsarenafootball@gmail.com or the arena site at americanarenaleague.com.
Excellent. And let's talk about this team, Jermaine. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago here, a really tough loss, but what a way to rebound last week. 56-16 over the Rage. Emphatic win. The team really needed that one. You could tell, really get that first one under their belt. How proud are you of the way the team responded after that opening night loss?
Well, obviously we had some challenges in the first game. No one's perfect, so we rebounded after that. We, overcame some adversity and some of those mistakes, throughout. And in practice, we had a great practice last week. So we're ready to go this week and continue on with winning. We just, it's not going to stop. This is it. At least we won't win the championship, undefeated. But you know what? All wins from here. That's how I'm looking at it, very optimistically for our team.
Okay, on the road from here for the next couple of weeks. You don't return here until a little later in the season. How important is getting this home W here tonight?
Oh, absolutely, because we go on the road for the next couple weeks, so that'll be a little tough schedule there. But we'll be back on May 20th, and then we, wrap up the season on June 3rd and June 10th. So it's exciting enough for us. We got to, get this win under our belt and continue to push, for that championship.
Excellent, Jermaine. Thank you for joining us on
so
the
much
Brownstone pregame. Jermaine Sanders, co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats, the AAL and the AL2. Joe, we'll throw it back to you upstairs.
Well, Dave, since you threw it back to me, I will introduce our second interview that we conducted during our Brownstone pregame show. Dave was joined down on the field for a pregame interview by Bearcats defensive back Sadiq Palmer. So we'll send it back down to Dave for his pregame conversation with Sadiq.
All right, Joe, I'm here with Bearcats defensive back Sadiq Palmer. Huge game last week, Sadiq. 3 interceptions, 1 return to the house. How big of a win was that for your team, rebounding off of that first game?
Definitely was a big win. Last week in practice, we just harmed on just 60 minutes because the first week we lost by the last second of the game. So we just honed in on 60 minutes. Everybody gave everything they got for 60 minutes. And we went out there and did what we were supposed to do. So.
And how important was it in that game against the Rage last week to really set the tone early, come out with the big hits early, the interceptions, the special teams touchdowns that you guys added? How important was that to really set the tone early in that game?
It was definitely big. It helped our confidence and helped everybody just start rolling and working all together. So everything's starting to come together as a team too. So, yeah, that was definitely a big confidence booster.
Absolutely. And Sadiq, as far as the defense, for this team, you guys only give up the 16 points last week. Even the week before against Steel City, if not for that flurry at the end, held them pretty much in check for the entire game. As a defense, what is your goals out there when you go out there? What's the hallmark of this defense? What do you want to be known for?
Just playing together and everybody playing smart and everybody to the ball at every time. That's it.
And as far as your opponents tonight, the Warriors, we don't know a lot about them, not a lot of tape on them. But from what we do know about the Warriors, what's the game plan here tonight against them?
I can't really get into too much to that.
not the X's and O's.
We're not really worried about the players. We're just worried about us playing together as a team, and we know we're going to get it done if we do that.
All right, Sadiq, thank you for joining us on the Brownstone pregame. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Got it. Sadiq Palmer joins us on the Brownstone pregame show. We'll be back right after this. We'll send it up to Joe.
And we will turn back the clock to our pregame interviews one final time. In case you missed it, here is our conversation with Bearcats offensive lineman Claude Jones-Jules.
In addition to the roster, Claude Jones, tell us a little bit about your early impressions coming in on the Bearcats organization.
I mean, my early impressions is we got a nice unit, we're solid up front, and we real disciplined. So basically what I see is a bunch of good things. The record only reflects one thing, but when you actually get into a team, that's where you see what's really going on.
All right, Claude Jones, as far as up front, that's where really you belong. That's where you're setting the pace of the game. It all starts up front. Some of your techniques that you want to kind of share with us and your mentality going up against the defender 1v1.
Well, basically, me as a lineman, I like to be aggressive, so I like to attack. They like to say offensive line is supposed to be defensive, but no, we are really aggressive to be savages and attack. That's just me personally, but we got to see how the game goes. Because sometimes you got to let the pedal off just to apply more pressure.
All right. First time we're seeing the Warriors. Not a lot of film on them, not a lot to look at. But as far as going up against them, what's the game plan? What do you have to do in order to get out of here with a W?
I mean, the game plan for real is to focus on us. Because if we focus too much on the opponent, then we get caught up on what we should do and what we shouldn't do. All we got to do is execute and play our game.
All right, Claude Jones, pleasure meeting you. Good luck out there.
Appreciate that.
Claude Jones-Jules joining us on the Brownstone pregame show. Joe, we'll send it up to you one final time. So glad we were able to get those pregame interviews in during halftime in case you missed them. We'll throw it to one more final break before we get you ready for the second half of play right here from Warananko Sports Complex.
This broadcast is being brought to you by Pioneer Sports Incorporated, providing quality programs to underserved communities, providing team owners with support and tools to run quality programs. Visit them at pioneersportsinc.com or call 609-658-7532. And by DJ Willie Will of Spectra Sunshine Sounds. DJ Willie Will is part of the Spanish Harlem Street Jocks. Contact Willie Flores for the best DJ services at your next event. Call 212-987-4425 or email scbanton40@yahoo.com. And by DG Visuals, photography by Danny Gomez. Call or email today for the DG Visual Experience, one unlike any other.
Welcome back here, Jersey Bearcats and AAL2 football live from Waranenko Sports Complex. We are getting set for the second half of play where the Jersey Bearcats have themselves a big 20-point lead, 34-14 after 30 minutes. The Bearcats got the ball first in this game, so the Warriors will receive the second half kickoff. Both teams taking their final stretches. We were hoping to get A.J. Roque on headset during our halftime, but he is right now in a heavy conversation with our officials in this game, so perhaps not. And we will bypass him and maybe get someone after the game to speak to us, as we often do.
With only 24 seconds to go before the start of the second half, I am leaning towards not as well.
Right, absolutely. But, Joe, if you're a Bearcats fan, got to like what you saw over the first 30 minutes of this one. It was certainly all Bearcats in the beginning. Now, making it interesting were the Warriors with a couple of touchdown drives, including one right before the half. Jersey almost brings the kickoff back to make it an even bigger lead, but it's not over. We've seen 20-point leads evaporate in the past, but certainly the Warriors up against it. All right, we are going to have A.J. Roque on headset now. AJ, just in the nick of time, what'd you see in the first half from your guys?
No, just focused, from that first game, man. We're still upset about that. So, we're using the hashtag, somebody got to pay. We're just trying to continue and getting better each week. Forget about the first half, it's over with. So 0-0.
Yep, and despite giving up the 14 points, your defense really flying to the ball, a couple of big fourth down stops, but you did yield a couple of first downs via penalty. What'd you say to the team about taking those penalties?
Listen, those are going to be a part of it. The really thing we honed on at halftime was we cannot give up a touchdown at the end of the half like that, like we just did.
Absolutely. Well,
right? That's huge in this game.
Absolutely. AJ, 30 more minutes before we finalize this one. Good luck out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got it. AJ Roque, head coach, co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL and AAL2.
Well, Dave, the last minute or so of that first half is what makes the arena game so distinct from conventional football that our viewers may be used to seeing week in and week out during the NFL season or during some of the other professional seasons that have taken place over the last few months. And the Warriors got a much-needed touchdown late in that first half, and will get the ball first here to start the second half as Flowers has it in his hands again on the kick return. He has good blocking. He makes his way toward the near sideline, cuts back inside, has more blocking, and he is in for a touchdown.
Great call, Joe, and just like that, we saw the Jersey Bearcats almost bring one back, and now the Warriors get 6 points closer with that one.
Flowers has proven himself to be quite the playmaker in this game. He takes a kickoff all the way back, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time we've seen that so far covering arena football. And we saw some well-blocked returns earlier in the game, one right before halftime as the Bearcats nearly took one back for 6. And what a huge momentum swing in this game, as now Maryland will go for 2, and with that could make this a 12-point game.
Yeah, the complexion of this game changing immediately. And they are 1 for 2 on 2-point conversions. Now, we do have a flag down. We do have a flag down here as we will get to see what the result of this is. Now, the Warriors do go for 2 on these conversions, so if they have to back up, it would make it a little bit tougher on their end. We just spoke to A.J. Roque about penalties. And we are going to have a timeout for the Bearcats. So the Bearcats have called for time So the clock will stop with 13:52 remaining. Bearcats want to talk things over, figure out what they did wrong on that kickoff, and figure out what this penalty was all about too, unless, well, no, I was going to say maybe the Bearcats calling for time negates the penalty because maybe there was a delay, but
if you're the Bearcats, you had a chance to go up 40-14 with a potential kick return. Huge tackle by McIntyre prevented that. And now on the other side, you get a kick return. So it could have been a 26-point lead, could now be trimmed down to 12 if you're Jersey.
And that's a brand new ball game, 12 points. Not the way the Bearcats wanted to start this half, but here we go. 2-point conversion from the original hash. Williams looking to take it himself, tries to get the corner and does. Great lead block that time by Desmond Barksdale, was able to spring Williams out for the 2-point conversion. So we do have indeed a 12-point game. Now our scoreboard at the arena says it's 34-21, but it is no doubt 34-22 here as we have the correct score on your screen.
And that all transpired in under 80 seconds. And that's, I think, the most important part of it all.
Yes, and the Bearcats used the timeout on that 2-point conversion too, which they could not stop. So no one has noticed the scoreboard at this point downstairs. No one protesting.
Someone better start.
I don't know if that's on us, but that was certainly a 2-point conversion. That one skips down, and it's fielded at the 7. It is taken by Palmer. Palmer gets interrupted, almost had that stripped from behind. But it will be a first down for the Bearcats, their opening drive of the second half upcoming. Both teams trying to get their personnel, or their correct personnel, on the field. And now they do. Kyle Ward comes in a little bit late into the huddle for the Bearcats.
And you have to think that come this drive, there's a lot of pressure on the Jersey offense now to try and keep the Warriors at arm's length.
Big moment and a big drive here. Ward in motion. He's going to streak down the middle of the field. Cologne buying time, middle of the field. Savardis makes the catch. First down, and he's spilled out at about the 12, 13-yard line inside Warriors territory.
And the Warriors just haven't been able to get to Cologne in this game. They've flushed him out of the pocket. They've forced him to step up, but have not been able to come away with an elusive sack in this game. And very quickly, the Bearcats are back to the line.
And we do have a whistle here. Timeout is going to be called. It will be called by the Warriors. So the Warriors use their first timeout. Let's send it to a really quick break here. Andrew, when we come back, more Bearcats football right here on the PDF Sports Network.
Game is being brought to you by Staples, the official office superstore. With multiple locations throughout the tri-state area, Staples has what you need for your office, home, or home office. Visit us at staples.com for the location nearest you. And by Phenom, providing the official ball of the American Arena League and the official outfitting partner of the Jersey Bearcats. Visit PhenomEliteBrand.com for gotta-have apparel and accessories.
Back to live action here. Cologne, flags are down. Looks like it might be a free play for the Bearcats, and he throws it outside the arena. That'll be incomplete, but there were flags down. They came early in on that play. Movement undoubtedly at the line of scrimmage will get the official call.
Well, they finally got to Cologne on that play, and he was forced to throw up a souvenir into the stands.
False start against the Bearcats. So probably back them up here, make this a 1st and 15. Indeed they will. Clock running now inside of 11 minutes. Both teams have used the timeout already here in half number 2. break out of the huddle. Looks like the man in motion this time will be Owens on the near side. He'll get a running start, now does. Streaking down the right sideline. The throw is underneath to Ward. Ward making one man miss, getting in towards the corner and in for the score.
And Ward continues his great game as he's been a really tough tackle. And he's shown some good speed working up the boards along the sideline. The defense simply hasn't been able to bring him in over there. And we've seen some explosive plays to the outside for Jersey throughout this game. Another one in that spot.
So that drive only goes 2 plays before the Bearcats hit pay dirt, interrupted by a penalty. And we're going to see a 2-point conversion attempt for the Bearcats here to try to extend to an even 20-point lead.
Well, the Bearcats leading by 2 scores. You don't want to say they needed to score there, but they reassert some control over this game with that touchdown as things had gotten a bit more tenuous following a couple of Warriors scores.
So ball spotted near the 3-yard line. Now Cologne wants to look at the alignment here and make sure that the ball is spotted correctly. He wants the right hash mark, and you are allowed to request which hash mark you want it on as long as it's done before the ball was spotted down. Cologne argues his case, wins that argument. Sovereignty's in motion right to left. The throw in the flat to him. He's looking for that corner. Looks like the Warriors were there to stop him from getting in. No signal yet. It is no good, the 2-point conversion. Players slow to get up, and the lead will remain 18 points.
That was well defended by Maryland on that play. They got the ball to Sovereignty's with some good blocking. And blocker on the outside there was Ward. He was shed. And that resulted in a stop on that 2-point try.
Bundy was slow to get up, but ultimately did under his own power, so that's a good sign.
Well, I was trying to make out on the replay if that was a 16 or an 18. If that was 16, it's Jerome Jr., a defensive back, which made more sense to me in the moment. But he looked like
probably right, Joe. Yep.
He looked like his hand was injured on that play, though. We get a look toward the bench. That was indeed Jr. on that play. Big tackle by him.
Absolutely. Jersey will hope that 2-point conversion is a moot point, but never know. Those can come back to haunt you as well. Flowers, dynamic. Last time he touched it, he went to the end zone. He reverses field. 25, gains the 20, makes a man miss. Guy go to the right. He gets stood up at the boards hard, but inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors.
What a move by Flowers to pick up at least 10 extra yards on that return. He planted his foot in the turf, cut it back inside, and was able to take it toward the far sideline with this move right here. You'll see it. There he plants his foot, makes a man miss. And a good job by the Bearcats to stay with that play and kick coverage. If they do not, Flowers very easily could have taken that all the way for a touchdown. He paid for that move with a huge hit at the end of the play, but a job well done once again by Flowers on the return.
Well, if you're Flowers, you are doing it pretty much all here. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for the Warriors. Down by 18. They've scored on special teams in this quarter. We're able to get the 2-point conversion as well. Flowers is the motion man. He looks underneath. That pass extended a little bit too high, and unable to come down with it was Hansen. Camped out at about the 4-yard line. Almost had it.
That was not a bad ball by Williams. He had to elevate that one to get it over the defender who was nearby. He had a man in front of and behind his intended target on that play, and that was Hansen, as you mentioned, Dave. And Hansen got 2 hands on it. He had to fully extend up in the air, couldn't bring it in. But still a goal-to-go situation for the Warriors. They will have 3 more plays to get this.
6:45 and counting here. 2nd down and goal. Williams with trips to the left. He looks in that direction. Now middle of the field and incomplete. Taking a shot on the way down was Bundy. Has another ball that hits him in the hands. A little bit elevated for it, but an incomplete pass.
Well, Bundy saw Nick Price, the linebacker for Jersey, waiting for him as he went up for that ball, and he still took a hit at the conclusion of that play. Did not make the catch, but that was going to be a very costly reception if Bundy had held on to that one.
So now here we go, 3rd down and goal coming up. Undoubtedly 4-down territory here for the Warriors. Flowers with the running start. They look in his direction. Back in the end zone, and that one was incomplete. I don't know if that was intended for Hansen or not, or if it was Flowers cutting in above him. Either way, incomplete, 4th and goal.
Well, if that was intended for Flowers, it was behind him. At least it sure looked that way.
They both went up.
It was behind Flowers.
Yeah, it was
but
behind
I think
Flowers.
he was the intended target.
I agree with you. Otherwise, that would have been a dangerous pass to Flowers, or to Hansen. So here we go, 4th down and goal. It's a big play here for the Warriors and the Bearcats. Bearcats looking to make a stand. Warriors have failed on a couple of 4th down attempts. Williams in the corner, and that one is intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone for the touchback was Kareem Williams. And the Bearcats will take over.
Jump ball situation, Hansen versus Williams, and the Jersey defensive back wins that battle. Here you'll get a second look at it. There needed to be a bit more air on that ball to give Hansen a chance, either that or get it out a bit sooner. And a nice job by Williams defensively to come down with that one. He stole it away from Hansen, who had his hands in the mix there, but never really had a chance to make a reception on that play. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line on that touchback. So despite the 50-yard field, a touchback on a turnover caused by the defense will still bring it out to the 20. As of now, anyway, the officials are discussing it.
They are. But, you know, Joe, the fact that Flowers did not touch the ball on that drive, certainly something you have to think about here. He's been the dynamo to this Warriors offense. Williams has done a good job getting the ball to him, of course, but you got to think that if the Warriors are going to get back into this game and if they're going to put points on the board, Flowers is going to have to factor in.
It seems like the more plays the Warriors have run offensively, the tougher it's been for them.
And we do have flag down as moving the ball over from the right to the left hash was Steve Nelson, the center here for the Bearcats. And once that ball is placed down, I don't know if the Bearcats are allowed to move it. They are allowed to decide which hash they start from, but now it looks like the flag has been picked up, Joe. So maybe the Bearcats were in the right there to move it. Either way, 1st and 10. Bearcats start another drive here. They scored on their first offensive series of this half. Running start for Owens, who's looking for the deep ball, and that's too far extended as he could not come down with it. He took a massive hit on the way down of that as well. Incomplete.
And that's a similar defensive look to what we saw earlier, as there is a flag down on the play, but 1/3 of the field, deep down the field in the Warriors secondary, remained unaccounted for on that play. They had a safety in the middle third of the field who tried to sprint out and cover Owens, and it looks like Cologne saw that look coming pre-snap. He got the ball out ahead of his receiver's arrival down the field. Fortunately for the Warriors, the ball was just a bit overthrown, but they need to keep an eye on those receivers either in motion toward that vacant zone or out of the backfield running a route toward that vacant zone, as the Bearcats have been able to exploit that in this game.
Now, it is a 1st down and 5, Joe, because there was a penalty on that last play against the Warriors. So instead of a 2nd and 10, we have a 1st and 5, as that ended up being a free play for the Bearcats. Time winding down here in the 3rd. Warriors up against the scoreboard and the clock. The give on the inside, lowering his head and trying to get a couple of yards was Steven Puzo. He gets about a yard or so. 2nd down and 4.
1st and 5, sometimes you'll see teams try and take a shot there. Instead, the Bearcats just looking to ensure that they pick up this 1st down. Didn't get much on that rushing attempt. We haven't seen many runs in this game by either team.
I was going to say, after that incompletion on 1st down, I think every single time the Bearcats have had a 1st and 10, they have gone for the deep ball and tried to take the top off of this Warriors defense. That time on the abridged 1st and 5, they go to the run. Puzo this time gets the running start. Cologne, plenty of time to survey the field, and that one is incomplete. Very nearly coming down with it was Junior on the play as he cut right in front of Puzo, the intended receiver.
Well, it looks like the Bearcats just ran out of room on that play. Puzo made a cut to the outside, and he was open. Maybe the ball came out just a bit late, but if you account for the decreased width of the field, what looks to be open typically is not necessarily open in the arena game. And the beneficiary on that play would have been Jerome Jr., who got a good break on that ball and nearly came up with the interception.
3rd down and 4 coming up. Running start again for Puzo. They look on that right side. Puzo makes the catch. 1st down and more inside the 10. And the Bearcats will be set up 1st and goal.
And I was looking at what was going on after the play there. Looks like Day Lee had something to say to Puzo when he was down on the turf.
Either that or maybe there was an assignment missed and Lee was just frustrated.
It looked like he was directing his ire toward a Bearcat.
Yeah, it sure does. That looks like this could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. It's the give underneath and going in. Barely touched was Nasir Adams. And the Bearcats finalize the 3rd quarter with another touchdown.
Doesn't get much easier than that for Adams, who took a big hit earlier. Not sure if we had seen him on the field since that hit until that last play. Certainly didn't get a touch since he took that big hit from behind. And right there, he gets into the end zone with ease. I don't think anyone in a white jersey made contact with him on his way to the goal line. And the Bearcats have once again broken this game open. Keep in mind, however, it is a 3-score game right now. 24 is the lead for Jersey, and it looks like they're going to go for 2. So if they don't get this, it remains a 3-score game.
Right, so the lead is 24, looking to go up by 26, which would force it to be a 4-score game. Looking for the corner, but I don't know if he got enough with Savrides. The Bearcats think he did. Still no signal yet. We'll keep our eyes peeled on the officials. Officially, doesn't look like he got in.
In real time, I didn't think he got it, Dave.
Well, A.J. Roque thinks he got in. He's the only one given the touchdown call. Get another look at it here. No, I thought he was short as well. But the score remains 46-22. So essentially, it is still the full breadth of 3 scores. The Warriors would need 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions to get even. And we should mention that that was also the end of the 3rd quarter. So we are through 3 complete. We'll keep it right here as we get set for the 4th.
And Dave, I'm a bit surprised they went for 2.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the way Storigo was kicking them through the uprights. You give yourself a 4-score lead with an extra point. But unless you just want to practice your 2-point conversion attempts. But I agree with you. Actually, I think they've just reversed this, Joe, and they've made it. That's good. The 2-point conversion was good, but they put 1 point on the board.
They'll fix it.
This doesn't make sense. Yeah, now they put 2 on the board. So 2-point conversion successful after all of that. We might need to see that again. The officials certainly didn't want another look at it. Junior, I believe the up man was the one to get it. Big pile up inside Bearcats territory where the Warriors will start 1st and 10. So after all of that, Joe, it's a 26-point game, and it's a 4-score game.
Well, I'm still surprised they went for it, Dave, but the 2-point try is good.
See if Andrew can get us another replay of that, maybe even slowed down. We'll figure out where Savrides ended up with the football and what yard line it is. Now, the goal line is in yellow down there. There are 2 lines there. There's a goal line for soccer and a goal line for arena. Arena is the yellow one. That's the closer one. And I think he's short. I
can't believe they overturned that.
Yeah, and I believe if they would have asked for a replay, we would have shown that he was just a bit short. But in any event, the Warriors need some points. Williams looking sideline wide open, and the touchdown is there, easily caught by Dominic White. who's the backup quarterback for this team as well. I don't know if the Bearcats expected that ball to go to him.
That was as easy a pitch and catch as the Warriors have had since that 2-point conversion earlier in the game.
Yeah, and that time the corner bit down on the underneath route. We're going to get another look at that when we can. But you could see the cornerback on that play, I believe it was Nathaniel, kind of bit on the underneath route. 2-point conversion coming up for the Warriors. Fade route, back of the end zone, and that one is kicked around for a while before it is incomplete.
We are going to get one more look at that touchdown grab as it's now a 20-point game, and you see that respect being paid to the screen pass, Dave. You said it. Earlier in the game, Bearcats made a similar decision defensively on a 2-point try. That resulted in an easy 2. Right there, the Warriors come away with an easy 6. It remains a 3-score game. However, to come back with just 3 scores, the Warriors would need at least one 2-point conversion.
Well, remember 2 weeks ago, the Bearcats were up by 20, 32-12, when the wheels kind of fell off. Now, with the way that their offense is moving the ball and the way that they are putting points up on the board, the Warriors have to prove that they could stop the Bearcats at least once in this game because they still have not done so. Bearcats have scored every time they've had the ball. This is Ward, very dangerous, but that time gets bottled up. Warriors looking for that strip, but Ward does well to cover up. They'll start this drive from their own 17.
And you can see the Warriors trying to rip that football away, and they got hands on it as they took Ward down to the turf. There you see it, at least on our monitor. You'll see it on replay shortly if we get a second look, but nonetheless, there was a chance there for the Warriors to create the turnover they needed, and they likely will need at least one the rest of the way to have a chance in this game. We have 11:40 on the clock, and clock is running.
Right.
Bearcats probably won't take their time because when you do, it really detracts from the urgency to score. And once you fall into that mindset, a lot of times it's hard to get back into rhythm offensively. So I think they continue to play the game they've been playing for the first 3 quarters plus.
So here we go. Warriors give underneath to Socrates, who came around, and he gets a hole and is put down hard. There is a flag down. Socrates is still up. Now the Warriors are contending that they got him out of bounds at about the 12, 13-yard line. But this is coming back regardless because the Bearcats have been whistled for a holding call.
Well, there was one drive in the Week 1 game that did not result in a turnover late that really hurt Jersey, and that drive hurt as a result of holding penalties. And there you see where the Warriors thought they had Socrates out of bounds. I tend to agree with them based on that replay, but it's coming back either way. However, the holding penalties late in that Week 1 game against the Stampede really started a decline for Jersey. It gave Steel City the ball back. They scored once. It was then the fumble that gave Steel City a chance with 11 seconds left.
Now, because the penalty happened after Socrates broke the line of scrimmage, it'll be a 1st down and 9, Joe. So the hold happened while he was in the middle of his run. So it's a 1st and 9 from the 18-yard line, just shy of the 19-yard line. So officially a gain of 1 on the play for Socrates, who comes in motion this time. High arc, comes into Cologne's left. He's the intended receiver, but that one is thrown perhaps into the bench of the Warriors, but incomplete, 2nd down.
I think if you're the Warriors here, you have to have a 3 and out, and the big decision comes on 3rd down. This is a 2nd down play, but we saw the Warriors bring a heavy blitz earlier in the game, trying to get another possession before halftime. It didn't work. Will they try it again on 3rd and or 4th down?
Yep, I remember the success that they've had running the football, too, on some occasions. Not necessarily at this part of the football field, but they have had some success, including that last play that was called back for holding. This will be a pass, though, in the flat, and quickly making the catch was Owens. He gets spilled at about the 25-yard line, just short of the 1st down. He'll be about a couple of yards shy. 3rd down.
3rd and short, the whole playbook is open, and the Bearcats hurry to the line once again. Right. Warriors have to make a decision quickly what they want to look for in this spot.
A 20-point lead with time on their side. They do elect to hurry catch the Warriors off guard. The give is underneath to Adams. Adams, nowhere to go. 3 white jerseys on top of him. Officially no gain, 4th down.
This is a stop that Maryland has to have. They have Jersey in a position that they want them, 4th down. But once again, the entire playbook is open in this spot. And you know the Bearcats are going to go for it here, especially given the fact that they ran it on 3rd down.
So the ball officially spotted at midfield. They'll need about 1.5 yards here, closer to 2. As Joe mentioned on 3rd down, playbook open for this one. In motion will be Ward, getting the flying start. Way off the ball, they throw to Owens, and Owens cannot reel it in.
Well, Dave, I wish I had the telestrator because in real time I signaled to you with a circle of the finger how much room they were giving Owens along that far sideline.
He was the obvious choice.
I can't believe how much of a cushion they gave him. Perhaps even more surprising is that he dropped the ball.
Yeah, he dropped the ball, and I don't know if he was expecting the ball to be placed that far in front of him. We might get another look at this, but the ball was kind of leading him closer to the 20-yard line than if he just stopped and made the catch. See, he stopped there at the 24, and that pass kind of led him up the field, and maybe that's what tripped Owens up a little bit. But the Warriors needed a break. They got one. Here we go, right from midfield. Half the field to go to get themselves back into this one. Williams, a lot of time, middle of the field. That one is dropped. Dropped inexplicably by Dominic White. Now, pass was a little bit behind White, and if it wasn't stride, he might have still been running. But that's now 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, I think you're right about that, Dave. If he catches that, it's a touchdown. And then all of a sudden, we have a 2-score game with about 7 minutes to play. Instead, the Warriors will have a 2nd down and 10, but White had plenty of room to run if he catches that ball.
Now, it's still loud in here, but you could see, or you can hear, a little bit of more of a hushed tone here because shades of 2 weeks ago creeping in some memories. Williams, quick shot to Hansen, but he drops that one, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
That's 3 straight drops between the two teams.
And really, Joe, the Warriors have not been able to do anything without Flowers being involved. Now, granted, Dominic White had the last touchdown catch on a ball where he was wide open, but the Warriors are having some trouble here stringing things along if a man by the name of Flowers is not involved in the play. 3rd down and 10. Williams with some time in the flat to Hansen. He is bottled up after a minimal gain, about 4 or 5 on the play, but again, another big 4th down upcoming.
And the Warriors won't have much time to talk about it in this spot.
No.
I think a big positive from this drive anyway, aside from the 2 drops, is that Williams has been protected. He's getting the ball out quickly and on target. I'm not sure how much that helps you in a 4th and 6 or 7. Maybe in a 4th and shorter, it would be more of something that helps them out.
And they do opt to huddle up, too, and the clock does run, even on the incompletions, although that last play was completed. 4th and 6, here we go. Warriors need a play. Play clock running down as well. 5:20 to go. Flowers getting a racing start from the right side. Williams in the direction of Flowers. Sideline, does he make the play? I believe he does. Catch made by Flowers on this. No, actually, I'm sorry, Joe. Looks like
it was Flowers, Dave.
It was.
It was.
So 1st down. I apologize. I saw a couple of Bearcats players spill over the sidelines and go onto the field, so I thought maybe they were bringing their offense out. 1st down and goal instead for the Warriors. Wow, they need a play. They get a play.
We have no angle to see that area. There's nowhere we could be, but we can see what happens along those near side boards in the corner.
Right. So Williams now with Anderson to his left. Williams back to pass. Being harassed by Young. Drops it off in the corner. Making the catch. Does he? Hansen believes he's in, but if he used the glass or the boards to secure that, it is incomplete. Now, we might want to see this on replay slow down, and so might the coaches and the referees. So hold the phone a little bit here. In real time, we saw it. We do have the ability to go to instant replay. They elect not to use it. But we will see this, and we will see it slowed down. Does he use the boards to secure the catch? It certainly looks like it, Joe.
I didn't think he caught it, Dave. I thought he had help.
Impossible to kind of see from that angle definitively, but second down and goal anyway. Williams, once again, being flushed out to the right. He's looking middle of the field, and that one is incomplete. It was broken up by Palmer at the last moment. And the Warriors stalled in a goal-to-goal formation. Remember, to start this second half, what turned out to be a pretty big drive defensively for the Bearcats. And now here they go on 3rd and goal.
Well, time running out on Maryland here.
Right.
And had they scored in that goal-to-go situation earlier, the complexion of this game would be completely different. But as it stands, down 3 scores, they're running out of time. They need a score, and they need it quickly.
So here we go, 3rd and goal with the clock still running. That clock on your screen is correct. Just a hair over 3 minutes. Williams looking left all the way. Corner of the end zone. That catch is made, I believe. It's a touchdown. Dominic White comes down with his second grab of the night in the end zone, and they knock the lead down to 14.
White's had a really nice second half. He's been heavily involved offensively for Maryland. Comes down with the second touchdown of the game. And the Warriors will hurry back to the line to go for 2. Chance to make this a 48-36 game.
That one juggled around and incomplete. Went off the fingertips of Dominic White. So 48-34 remains our score.
This is basically an identical situation to what we saw in week 1, Dave. 2-score game, about 2 minutes to go. The Warriors only have 2 timeouts, which hurts a bit. And there may not be enough time left here.
I thought that the Bearcats were up by more, but I guess not.
It's optics.
Yeah, that's right.
You went from 48-28 to 48-34. It's a big jump going from the 20s to the 30s.
That's correct.
I was thinking the same thing as I did the math in my head before I realized that is the correct score.
Right. Yep, 100%. 48-34, so the Warriors still need to score twice. Remember, the clock will stop automatically with a minute left in the game, and on every dead ball thereafter.
Dave, if Jersey moves forward, this game is over.
We said that 2 weeks ago, too, Joe.
I didn't say that.
You did. I remember you said, at the very least, they just got to run a couple of plays.
They have to move forward.
Yes, absolutely. That one is on the boards and taken. Looks like giving himself up on the play was Ward. And that should get us to the 1-minute warning. So the Bearcats, just like you said, Joe, as long as they go forward, they force the clock to keep running. The Warriors can stop it twice. Now the Bearcats, in case you're not familiar with the rules, they cannot essentially take a knee here. They need to advance the ball. If they do take a knee, the clock stops. So they need to move forward in order for the clock to keep moving forward. But 2 weeks ago, when this situation was upon us, Joe, was the penalties that really stopped the clock a lot. And the Stampede 2 weeks ago got a huge turnover inside of a minute to go that changed that game and led to the game-winning score.
Well, you know the Bearcats have worked on this since week 1. I guarantee it. I think they're well prepared.
100%. It is Adams to the right of Cologne. Ward getting the running start. It is given to Ward. Ward up the middle, breaking one tackle, and gets corralled at about the 17-yard line. So forward momentum gained. Clock runs until the Warriors call timeout, and now they do with 51.9 to go. We do have flags down here, as after the play there was a lot of talking between both teams.
We'll see what comes of this. The Bearcats are clapping right now, so it looks like this is going against the Warriors. And I think a first down would effectively end this game.
I would like to think so, especially with the Warriors having used the timeout on this play. Now, I think the coaching staff of the Warriors discussing now is the time stopped right now because of the penalty or not, because that would have stopped the clock. The penalty would have stopped it. Now, they are advancing the football. This will be a first down for the Bearcats as the ball has been spotted at the 22-yard line of the Warriors. So essentially, it's like a big do-over because the Bearcats are going to have a reset on a first down, only this time deeper in Warriors territory. 51 seconds left. And as far as we know, the Warriors, that timeout stands, and they only have the one remaining. Ward is the player in motion. Cologne thought about running with it. Now he looks corner of the end zone, and Owens had no idea the ball was up, it seems.
Well, he was open. I'm just shocked they passed.
I can't say I disagree with you there, but again, on first down, and the Warriors can only stop the clock once, you figure that could be the game ender right there. And now I think we should see some running of the football. We'll see.
Well, if the Bearcats do go on to win this game, and right now it appears they will, it really comes down to, if you're the Warriors, to the first quarter.
Right.
They gave up 4 touchdowns in the first, or
Yeah.
at the very least 4 at an early point in the second. They had given up 4.
Second down and 10. Ward with the flying start. The pitch is to Adams. Adams reverses field, middle of the field, and is down on his own power at about the 13-yard line. Now that's going to be close to another first down. Might be just short. Timeout called by the Warriors. He was, in fact, a yard short. So it'll be third down and 1. Out of timeouts are the Warriors. So 39.4 seconds to go on the clock. As you can see, our clock gets reset to that time. If the Warriors are able to knock the Bearcats backward, then the clock would stop. Otherwise, this is going to run either way. Cologne out of the shotgun. Adams to his right. It's the give to Adams. Adams gets bottled up. He may lose on the play. He does. And the clock will stop at the 16-yard line. It should have stopped. And I believe they'll put some time back.
Well, they ran about an extra 15 seconds off.
Andrew, our engineer, stopped the clock when he should have, and it was 33 on the clock. Should have been 34, actually. We could give them the signal if they need it.
Well, the Warriors lost a lot of valuable time. Now, Dave, did the Warriors use timeout?
They did.
Okay, so they have none left.
They don't have any left. And now they're saying they may wind the clock here. I'm not really sure. They want to wind the clock.
That effectively ends the game.
Pretty much. It's fourth down and 3.
Curious why they ran the clock there.
I don't know.
Did they say he moved forward?
Maybe forward progress, moved them back. I don't know, but the way the ball's spotted anyway, could be the final play of the game. Back in the end zone, almost intercepted. That should stop the clock at 3 seconds left. Hands on the ball was Kadeem Bailey, the defensive back. 2.8 officially on our board. Now, we've seen strange things. I don't think we're seeing 14 points in 2.8 seconds.
We saw, what was it last week, 12?
12 seconds, but that was the final touchdown. But they are going to put 2 seconds back on the clock, even though the horn sounded. And we'll get our final play of the game. The Bearcats are going to improve to 2-1. The Warriors will fall to 0-3. Bearcats will be on the road for the next couple of games. Before we exit here, we'll give you their schedule. We'll talk a little bit about what we are doing here on PDF Sportsnet upcoming in the next few weeks. We have a lot of football coming up for you after what we believe will be a week off next week. We do not have programming set up for next week. But we got a lot of stuff going on the PDF Sports Network, so we hope that you'll hang tight with us throughout the spring and into the summer when we roll into more football. Last play of the game, essentially, barring a defensive foul. We do have whistles beforehand, and it will be a timeout by the Bearcats. So the Bearcats have used their second timeout. They have 1 left. This will go down as a 14-point win, barring a score on this play for either team. It felt like it could have been more. It felt like it should have been more for the Bearcats, who I believe, Joe, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe that last drive by the Bearcats was the only drive in which they did not score.
And I think you're right, Dave. They did not get stopped much in this game at all. Their offense was on point, but I said it before. Outside of the first quarter, the Warriors won this game. They were down 3 scores at the end of 1.
Last gasp. It is caught by Flowers. He's put down at the 17, so that is the ball game. Nice game for the young man, Jarvie Flowers, for the Maryland Warriors, but this one is indeed a final. It's the Bearcats 48 and the Warriors 34. We'll have our handshakes, and we will have our player of the game coming up in just a moment. We will get Andrew downstairs to corral our player of the game in just a moment. Both teams shake hands. As we mentioned, the Bearcats now 2-1. We'll go over some of their games upcoming. But, Joe, as you mentioned, this game was pretty even after that first quarter. But the Bearcats needed a statement early. They had a one-play drive. They have actually had 2 or 3 one-play drives in this game. Put up the points early and often. They had themselves a 34-14 lead at halftime. And even though they were outscored in the second half, it was enough to hold on for the W.
Well, the Bearcats did what they needed to do in this game, Dave. They protected that lead. They knew the situation that they were in playing with the lead. And to get to the finish, they didn't have to score much in the second half. You know, head coach A.J. Roque probably would have liked them to score a bit more in half number 2. But this lead was never in any serious jeopardy in this game. So they did what had to be done in order to come away with the win here tonight. They get their first win here at the Waranenko Sports Complex. And for the Warriors now, they start their season 0-3. They basically move into a must-win situation in the next couple of weeks. Keep in mind, only an 8-game regular season. Not much more time to get things right for Maryland.
All right, so downstairs, Andrew Rotundo. He's coming into your screen. He's our engineer tonight. He is finding our player of the game. And we will have him momentarily.
Now, hopefully he does better than last week.
Well, he's down there. And
he is down there.
There he goes. And that's the young man right there. Kyle Ward is our PDF Sportsnet and East Coast Trophies and Awards player of the game. Kyle putting his helmet down, grabbing the headset. All right, Kyle, you should hear us, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Kyle, tell me, how many touchdowns you have today?
I had 3 touchdowns today.
You had 3, and you should have had a 4th, right?
Yes, sir.
at the half.
Yes, sir.
So, Kyle, listen, you guys, after that game 2 weeks ago, tough loss here. You guys have rebounded really well, especially offensively. Tell us a little bit about how you...
Clicking. You know, we stopped arguing and fighting, and we were coming together, you know, as one voice in the huddle.
For you, they allowed your offense to get off to a big lead.
Yes, sir. So our defense has progressed tremendously, man. They've definitely put the work in practice. We've done a little more competition drills in practice, you know, going more against each other, a lot more passing, you know, drills. So our defense, I'm very proud of. They definitely stepped up this game.
Kyle,
yeah, boy.
There he is. Kyle, I've been to a few of your practices. I know how high the bar is set by your coaching staff. They want a championship this year. Do the players feel the same way? And what are the goals from here on out?
Oh yeah, it's chip or bust, man. It's chip or bust. That's every year. You know, we always got the guys that come in ready to compete. You know, whatever we're missing, we always fill those holes. But as soon as the guys come in, we make it a goal. You know, chip or bust. There's nothing less.
All right, Kyle. Next couple of games on the road. You scored 3 tonight. How many are you going to get next time?
Man, as many as God allows me to get. You know what I'm saying? As many as God allows me to get.
Kyle, it's a joy watching you play. Congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kyle Ward is our East Coast Trophies and Awards player of the game, and we have Steph Cologne coming on headset. Stephen joins us now. Steph, what's up, man?
What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, and you must be feeling pretty great as well. 2 wins now after that opening week loss. It feels good.
Yeah, man, we closed this one out. Last time we came home, man, we gave the crowd about 59 minutes and about 59 seconds, and we didn't get to close it out. So that kind of been on our mind the last 2 weeks. I think that's going to be on mind, you know, for the remainder of the season. It just sucked we couldn't pull it out, so we wanted to give our fans what they deserve, and that was a win, 60 minutes.
So, Steph, you know, obviously the passing attack is prolific, but when you've needed it, the run game has done really well, especially down there close to the end zone. Nasir with a couple of touchdowns as well. Kyle getting in the end zone. What can you say about the way the offense is really able to mix up the run and the pass?
The way these guys are actually running the ball this year is very special, man. So right now, so good, God willing, we keep running the ball the way we are, man. We know Arena, we throw the ball, but the way this O-line is playing, man, the way the runners are playing, like, these guys are hitting what they're supposed to hit. We brought in a new lineman this week. He didn't get that much rest, but he made sure he studied his plays, and then when we ran the ball his way, he did his thing. We ran the ball away from him, he did his thing. Big just got back from suspension, did his thing. Steven stood on it, and then we got more than one person running the ball right now, so it's kind of like, it's tough to game plan that when you got a game plan for the pass as well.
Absolutely, Steph. Well, listen, your team is waiting for you there for the big.
Oh, Lord! Yo!
They're waiting for you.
Hey, guys, see, in a couple weeks, right? In a couple weeks, we're going to keep bringing this, round 6.
You got it. Stephen Cologne joins us there. There he goes. He's getting to the place where he needs to be. He does not want to not be a part of that photo, Joe. A complete win for the Jersey Bearcats, Joe. The first one that we get here on PDF Sports Network. 48-34, a good performance, and something to grow on for the next time.
No question about it. Big effort from the Bearcats here tonight. You have to like what you saw from this team, both offensively and defensively. And for Maryland, something to build on late in this game as well. They performed well in the second half, and they look to pick up their first win next time out.
All right, we have Coach Corey joining us on headset as well. Coach, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. I'm so happy to finally talk to you guys. It's been so long.
Awesome.
I've been begging for this.
All right. Well, here you are. And Joe and I were just remarking, I'm sure you heard, a nice complete game victory today. Of course, the Warriors put, a little points on the board there at the end, but right from the jump, your team took control of this game. What can you say about the way your team came out and played that opening quarter?
I feel like they just came out calm, cool, collected, and they played Bearcats football, which is smash mouth. We're going to run the ball, we're going to pass the ball when we want, and we're just going to dominate. And first drive of the game, they just came out, everyone was hitting. It was phenomenal to watch from the sideline.
And Corey, you deal primarily with the players that are working in the trenches. Of course, you get a big guy up there right in the middle for this game, Claude Jones-Jules. How great is it to get him as a part of the rotation early? And what can you say about the way your defensive line and offensive line played tonight?
We offensively, we got my guy Jules Day. He had sent me a text. He's like, "Hey, I just got caught by the Warbirds." He's like, "Are you interested in bringing me in?" I was like, "Yes, I am," because we have an injury to our Sean Kemmer right now. We don't know what his future is going to be like, but I imagine he's going to be back soon. And we couldn't end up getting together during the week. It was so much stuff going on. I work crazy hours. He's working crazy hours in the middle of moving. So we just got a few things we got to shore up, and we're going to hit that Zoom call on Monday. We're going to hit practice on Tuesday, and then I'm sure he's going to be up to speed because I've played against him. I played with him. I coached him. I coached against him, and he is a bull when he knows what he's doing. We just got to shore up one or two more things.
Absolutely. Coach, you go on the road now for your next couple of games, of course, against teams that we don't have a lot of experience seeing. What is the prognosis for what's coming? How do you get the team prepared mentally and physically for these tests ahead on the road?
Biggest thing we got to do with the Maryland Eagles, we got to have 8 hats to the ball on every single play because that quarterback is a burner. I've coached against him before, and he ran circles. He was running circles. He was running. I swore the guy, he was like Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl a couple years ago with Tampa Bay, but in the indoor arena. And it was just crazy because, there was times we thought we had him sacked for 6 yards, and 2 seconds later, he's 40 yards down the field, dancing, scoring a touchdown. So that's the biggest thing up front is we just got to 8 hats to the football. That's what it comes down to is we just got to play fundamentally sound football.
All right, well, Corey, 2 wins in the books. We hope we can make this an even longer streak. Best of luck to you and the team down the road.
Appreciate you guys having me out.
Of course.
Have a good night.
Coach Corey joining us on headset, of course, and that wraps up our post-game here with some of our players and coaches coming on. And Joe, listen, 48-34, it gives us a lot to look forward to with this Jersey Bearcats team. They've now played 3 different opponents. They've looked dominant in stretches in every single one of those games, and they have to feel pretty good about where they stand after 3 weeks.
No question about it. This offense right now, the best in the league. They lived up to that here today. 48 points for Jersey. You know that their players and coaches may have wanted a few more than that, but they'll settle for the victory. 48 points in the win, and they move on with a record of 2-1, trying to keep pace with the first place 2-win Steel City Stampede. We'll see how the standings shake out moving forward. in the coming weeks, but the Bearcats find themselves in a good position, picking up their first win here at home. And on your screen, you will get a look at some of our upcoming broadcasts here on the PDF Sports Network.
Yeah, so we are off next week, Joe. We do not have a game on our schedule, but 2 weeks from tonight, 5 o'clock kickoff, 4:30 pregame. We will be once again in New Brunswick, New Jersey for the Tri-State Warriors, taking on the Baltimore Nighthawks, who I believe are playing the New York Wolves, who we saw last weekend as well. So that's our game for 2 weeks. Then in 3 weeks, we will get back here to Warananko, where the Maryland Eagles will visit the Bearcats here. 6:30 p.m. kickoff. Of course, we start with the Brownstone pregame show on May 20th. And then on June 3rd, we have not one, but 2 games going on simultaneously. Joe, you and the crew will be here in Warananko, where the Bearcats will take on the United Firepower. That'll be a 6:30 start on June 3rd. And I will be in New Brunswick with our crew as the Tri-State Warriors take on the New York Knockout. That's going to be a first for us on PDF Sports Network. 2 games going on at the exact same time, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
We certainly will. Very much looking forward to that. We'll have to see who got the higher viewer count when it's all over. So a little friendly competition there, but we're going to have 2 separate crews stationed at 2 separate venues. As you said, Dave, a first for us, a part of a very busy summer for us here on the PDF Sports Network. Just outside of the scope of that upcoming schedule, we do have some Little League World Series qualifying games on Staten Island. We have more Jersey Bearcats football to come, of course, and also some more with the Tri-State Warriors as well. Plenty to look forward to this summer here on the PDF Sports Network. And here tonight for the Bearcats, they look ahead toward next week, coming away with a 14-point win here tonight. They're first at home. They have 2 wins. They joined the Stampede in that regard with 2 wins. As I said before, we'll see what the standings look like when we come back in a few weeks here in Warananko.
Absolutely. And to follow the AAL2 and the Jersey Bearcats, visit them on Facebook, American Arena League 2, Jersey Bearcats. And, of course, you could follow us as well, pdfsportsnet.com and youtube.com/@pdfsportsnet. If you're watching today, you know exactly where to find us. For our entire crew here at Foreman, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a very good night here from Roselle, New Jersey. Once again, the final score, the Jersey Bearcats 48 and the Maryland Warriors 34.